call people out with their BS. It doesn't mean you love them any less. Finale. Yes, it's true. The finale is finally here, and it just comes off as they're trying to formulate a little bit of drama. I don't know if it's because it didn't work out, because the experts can't do their job, or if they're just trying to come up with like, hey, some couples worked out, even if it's not the ones they put together. But there's definitely some funny business, especially with Emem and her new man, which we'll get to that, but it could quite possibly be one of the biggest controversies of the season. Not necessarily because she's dating, but because it really seems like there's some stuff going on behind the scenes. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks, share with your friends and family. I definitely appreciate all the support. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Here we are, finally at this finale, and you know what? It doesn't disappoint, but it does come off as them trying to really come up with the drama to really just nail it home. Although a lot of the drama ends up in the reunion specials, which start next week, so that should be interesting. But let's get right to it. But guess what? These crazy couples who have no integrity do not disappoint.
Babe. A lot of babe.
Right off with the drama.
I wasn't lying to you when I said that text wasn't meant for me. I never received it.
She was lying to you. Absolutely, she knew everything that was going on. But fine, keep selling the lie.
But you want to act like you can give about him?
I never said that. When
She
did
is
I say
feeling
that?
herself.
So why do you care? Why do you care?
Because irrelevant of the fact that Michelle really didn't care about David from the beginning, it was still a marriage that you came and became a homewrecker to your own marriage and to another marriage. So accept the fact that you had a big role to play in this whole debacle and stop trying to act like, why are y'all just attacking me? Michelle was awful. Michelle is not good to be in a relationship. Michelle was not a good person in this show. Let's clear that up right now. Two people can be criticized at the same time. Michelle was horrible to David. But guess what? He showed that he was not the person he was trying to portray himself, and now Madison is defending that. So, no one is a good person in this.
You don't get to say how I act. You do not get to say how I feel.
And you don't get to say how I act, Michelle. Like, you don't.
Okay.
This is so petty. This is so high school. You don't get to say how I act. You don't get to say how I act. And Madison, by the way, is the one that started all this by feeling herself up in there and being like, I'm going to defend my man who just became my man after sneaking around and being like gym, I don't know, intimacy buddies, I guess, if we're trying to be a little more family friendly. But you now want to start a fight and really go there when you're the one that was the homewrecker? Oh, because David said, oh, my marriage, it's really tough, and vented to you in the gym, so that makes it okay what you did, right? Right? And then, of course, just to send it home, this is what Madison does.
You have to be real.
Mocking, big fake laugh.
Where are my devil horns?
Oh, they're there. We all see them. We all see the devil horns. It is not becoming of you. You are on national television and you're going to make yourself look like the villain on purpose, walking away, laughing like a hyena. Where are my devil horns? I hate to break it to you. You're the only one that was being a homewrecker here. You and David were the homewreckers. So why are you having a good old laugh at everyone else's expense? It's weird. Like, it just goes to show that you are full of yourself and really don't care about others when you're saying that they don't care about you. It's bizarre. Listen.
And I know it's not my fault.
Okay, listen, let's be real about this. She had plenty of a role to play in a lot of this and the reason why her marriage just wasn't going anywhere. So, Michelle was not innocent. Two things, again, can be true at once. She was not good. She was not a good person. I will not sit here and defend Michelle for being so bad in the beginning of her relationship before all the stuff came out about David. Now, he took it to a whole nother level, sure, but she was not okay. So her crying does not elicit sympathy for me either. But the fact is she didn't step out on her marriage. He did, and now they're laughing about it. So they're awful. She's awful. Good. We cleared that up.
Stupid. Not gonna help us. Like,
No, it wasn't worth my breath of energy
Oh.
to just continue bickering with her for.
rather use that energy on me.
But yet you started it. So it wasn't worth your energy to just continue the bickering that you started. Go ahead and finish that statement, because right now, again, you're acting like, God, I just had to be the bigger person. You started it. That's like someone walking up and punching someone in the face and said, you know what? I'm not going to continue this fight. And they're on the ground like, what happened?
What'd you think about the kiss?
I like the kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're like a high school, middle school. No, you know what? They're like what was that? What was that? It's like, did you like the kiss? I like the kiss. They boop, 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 on her leg. Like, what is happening here other than bringing me back to 7th grade when someone had a boyfriend or girlfriend? You're like, oh, good. They love each other. They're going to be together forever. Ha, 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 ha. And they, broke up a week later. This is reminiscent of this. This is no adult relationship, which is why I don't care if they're still together. The reunion will be fun. They'll probably be like, yeah, we're happily ever after. They'll be broken up inside 6 months. Oh, look, isn't that so touching? Now, I'm going to point out the fact that she pushed Alan to be in the gym and everything he was trying to change for her. And yet the guy, now he claims he works out, and he probably does. Not everyone is completely ripped up and buff and everything when they work out. But yet this guy, you haven't mentioned one thing about thinking he needs to work out more and everything. And oh, by the way, he's the type that's like, yeah, I used to bodybuild and do all this. Maybe he did, but I sense he bodybuilds more like I would say in my early 20s I bodybuild, which is that I went to the gym, I tried to eat right, and I called that bodybuilding. This is kind of what seems like to me. So I think he has an overinflated sense of himself and really talks himself up, just like the fact that I know I'm a good guy. Yeah, okay, dude. Maybe be humbled. He needs a good you know what? He needs a good slice of humble pie. That's what he needs.
What's friendship to you?
See, Juan still wants to be friends.
I think being cordial, maybe
Oh yeah,
having a
cordial,
coffee together.
nice, all that.
You're
Are you cool with that though?
cool with that?
I feel
Like not spending so much time together.
I feel like not doing that. Listen, this is where it gets kind of funny because so Carla is like, look, I didn't come in this to be friends. I want a husband. Look, I think they would have been great together. I don't think Juan could really get there. And Carla's like, it is what it is. But he starts to get really bothered by the fact that she seems to be able to get over it really quickly. And then the rest of the episode is just him trying to convince her to be friends with him. It's kind of sad. Like, look, it's kind of sad walking out with his stuff. He kind of stalled. He piddled around before he finally left. It's like he's really bothered by the fact that she's able to let it go so quickly. But yeah, he doesn't want to say that because he knows that like he had no interest in being with her romantically. So he's like, he's having a roller coaster of emotions because now it's a whole like, you want what you can't have. And now it's like, she's like, okay, well, I'm going to find someone that really wants me. And instead of him being like, you know what, I'm going to find someone that really is there for me and is really a good person for me. He's like, but please be friends with me, Carla.
I feel like naturally both of our temperament was kind of like the same.
Oh, that makes absolutely no sense. Both of your temperaments were the same. Michelle and Carla. Carla, miss, I'm going to burn sage and crystals and be in a sound bath. And then Michelle, who's like, I don't like anything. In fact, I hate everything today. Please, I just want to hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate this. I hate that. The person that is impossible for her to see things the glass half full is the same temperament as Carla, who seems to be pretty positive. I don't know where they're getting this from, but it don't match up.
Like the babes are going at it.
I feel like I'm watching what is going to turn out to be like an audition for the Real Housewives of Chicago, Carla and Michelle edition. And then in a second, they're going to get too drunk and fight each other and then make up on the next episode. That's the feeling it seems like.
we're divorcees.
Yeah, let's just drink some wine.
Little jingle to it.
Uh-huh.
Like my client said, it's classy to
Yeah,
be
it
divorcee under 40.
Oh my gosh, these two got serious problems. Again, just goes to show Real Housewives of Chicago audition right here. It's classy to be a divorcee under 40. Sure, and then they got like the box of wine on the side, and it's like they're on their like third box of wine. This is what this is right now, because that is definitely. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. It probably would be entertaining, but it would just be like two people slowly turning into alcoholics.
My marriage was never consummated.
What? Hey.
Really? Never consummated?
And the best thing would have been that. So she tells this random waiter guy that, oh, my marriage was never consummated. The best thing would for him to be lean over and say, do you need me to help you with that? Like, and just walk away. That would have been the best thing. Like, why are you telling some random waiter that you never consummated your marriage? And he doesn't know what to say. Like, oh, really? I got to get something in the back. Like, What are you doing? Too much information, Carla. Now, Camille and Thomas finally settled on moving into his place, which is what I said they should have done all along, either her place or his place. She's happy because he finally made a decision and said, we can move into my place. The whole thing was it was too small. Sure, it's a small apartment, but for the two of them, it's fine for the time being. It was just an excuse because he was probably scared to just up and move or up and change everything. Sure, I get it, but you can't live without your wife. So if you're going to stay married, you need to live in the same spot. Finally, he made that decision. They're here, and it seems like it's going well. And there's actually hope for them to stay together for the long term.
Just kind of that landing spot.
Look, it may be a small apartment, but that's a hell of a view right there. So I don't know. I can't remember what he does for money or if it went into specifics. But damn, that is a crazy view there, so I'm sure that place ain't cheap either, even if it is small.
My anxiety levels have been through the roof.
So she's at a bar. Again, like everywhere this girl goes, she's drinking. This might need to be something that's addressed, because she's always going to have some sort of cocktail. This time she's with her dad. And now it's going to be, let's see if she tells the truth first.
Started getting a connection with another one of the husbands in the group, David.
Okay, when he hears this is a great opportunity for him to be a father and guide her in the right direction without condoning the behavior. Do you think that's what he does?
I feel like I've felt a lot of shame and guilt.
Yeah.
Alan was really, really hurt.
I wonder why. Why would Alan have been hurt? He was actually trying. He was actually developing a connection. And you went and did that, and now you're going to say, God, I feel a lot of shame. It's always the Madison show, by the way. Always.
David talk, because we haven't heard anything about David.
They don't have any idea about David.
I connected with him immediately.
Okay.
He was having a really, really hard time.
Okay.
With
this is a great opportunity
his
right here.
wife.
She says he was having a really, really hard time. You're telling your dad this. This other husband in this whole process was having a really, really hard time. Let's see how he handles that.
And she was very
closed off to just didn't
what
have
did
any,
I do?
no spark.
No spark.
No spark. Okay. So, no, admits that there's no spark, and he's like, okay, trying to understand. All right. What's the solution? What does he say should have happened?
Spending the rest of your life with.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it might not be the guy you married. It might be
the
guy someone else married.
Bad, awful, good God, horrible parenting. I don't care if she's a grown woman. That doesn't mean you have to give this kind of advice. He says, well, I mean, it was a married at first sight thing, so how you got there could have been someone else, but hey, you ended up getting there, so here you are. Really, what he should have said was, I have some follow-up questions, because the reality of the situation is she probably knows she can manipulate him. She can downplay it, he's going to believe, as a parent would do. Now, one of the benefits of being an addict and having been clean for as many years as I have now, my parents have been through it all with me. My wife has been through it all with me. So guess what? If I sit there and say, oh, this happened, but you know what? It was this, and I downplay it, they're going to be like, come on. Just give me the truth. Just tell me the truth. This keeps me honest. This keeps me with integrity. This has made me become the honest person I am today. When you don't have that and you've never been called out on that, guess what? They're going to believe you. They're never going to give you good advice. And here you are with basically sure, it may not be the right guy, but you home wrecked another relationship and that's perfectly fine. Whereas if you actually had been through this really in the grittiness, in the dirt with your parents, with your significant other, whoever it is, guess what they're going to do? They're going to call you out on your BS, and everyone needs that. You don't have to have been through a war zone with your family to be able to be called out on the BS. You just need to do it. Call out friends, call out family. Be that person that doesn't keep it to yourself and be like, oh, it's all right. Be a real friend. Be a real significant other. Be a real brother. Be a real sister, whatever. And call people out with their BS. It doesn't mean you love them any less. This dad didn't do that, and that's a problem, and the reason why Madison is going to continue to be this way moving forward.
We are just recently starting to reconnect on social media.
So she has a date with someone that she's known since she was in grade school, or at least had a kind of knew of. Doesn't sound like they were close, but all of a sudden they reconnect on social media after she's been on this program. Find that interesting? Now, granted, when this episode's happening, the season probably wasn't airing or even starting to air at that point, but the cast had been announced, so he probably knew she was on the show. Interesting. It gets more interesting.
A nice, handsome man.
Oh, okay. So you saw the pictures and you're like, all right. And he's like, hey, I know we haven't seen each other since 7th grade, but you want to go on a date? And you didn't once think, That's interesting. There's what's going on here? Why randomly all of a sudden?
I basically walked 10 years in the wrong direction.
What?
Tell me more.
I met her on...
Well, hold on. She's asking what happened with the marriage. He says, I walked 10 years in the wrong direction. That should be followed with a follow-up question, which she said, tell me more.
Her 29th birthday, 6 months later, we got married. So
Okay.
basically kind of like a whole first date, hung out.
Right into it.
Marriage, 10.5 years later, I feel like I was just
You can't,
in the right.
you cannot just like blah, 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 10.5 years later. So 29th birthday went out, we got married, 10 years later, here we are. That explains nothing, and all the red flags should be going off in Emem's head. Do you think they are, though? Because it sure don't seem like it.
You know, a couple months.
How did you make a decision to somebody in a couple months?
Now, I love how he's playing dumb like he didn't know she was on the show. I call BS big time on that.
You know, I was doing this process, so,
Yeah.
you know, he's vetted.
How long were you with him before?
Look. How long?
Maybe 5 minutes, you know.
Look at the face of an attempt to look like he's surprised. Like, what? What did you say? 5 minutes? Oh my gosh. I half expect him to start jumping up and down, trying to act like he's surprised. Dude knew she was on the show. I don't care what he tries to play off. Dude knew she was on the show. The question is, why is this all of a sudden wanting him to come out? It's not like, unless he just didn't know that she seems to be doing well for herself, maybe, having a little bit of money. Because guess where he's staying because of his divorce? He's living on his sister's couch. So, you got that going for you. Now, it's a divorce. Things happen. You got to make sacrifices going through a divorce. It's not even that. It's that it's an interesting timing. And all of a sudden, he's trying to jump back in a relationship when she's on this show. And it's kind of convenient. He's acting like he doesn't know. But I know damn well he knows that she was on this show.
I would love to take you out.
This is the first date, by the way. The first date. And he said, to have a second opportunity with you, I could see us taking off. First date. There's no indication of them having any kind of conversations since about the 7th grade until he jumped up on social media and was like, hey, it's been a while. Like, that doesn't raise a red flag, Emem. Are you really playing the rebound game?
I want to have a friendship with her. I
Dude,
mean, I don't expect it to be like...
He's sad.
Like, we're just hanging out, buddies all the time. But,
yeah. She doesn't want to have a friendship, and he can't let it go, that she is so over it already. Like, she's been able to put it out of her mind, compartmentalize it. It's over and done with, and he cannot deal with that. It's kind of crazy. It's like, Juan, look, I like you, man. I do. I'd hang out with that guy. That guy's fun. He seems like really positive and everything. But you had your chance, and now you can't always just be friends and, oh, everything's happy-go-lucky. It's a breakup. As short as it is, it's still a breakup. And she doesn't want to be friends. You got to let it go, bro, Chacho.
You know, have a little fun. Doesn't hurt.
yeah.
So this is what Alan's doing. Alan has been apparently hopping up on some dating apps and trying things out intimately wise. So he's talking about that. Although, you know, he's like, oh, having fun, have a few drinks. Well, no harm in that. I would argue that there is some harm in that because you just got out of a relationship where you got hurt. I get it. Y'all didn't know each other for that long, but you were trying. It was hurtful to you. That was clear. Jumping off and just trying to hook up with a few people and have some one-night stands, it's not going to be the best thing for you. Better just take time, kind of step back, and then get back into the field later, especially for someone who clearly wanted to get married and even has said such.
It's my turn.
Whoa, what I want to know is, where did Madison find this bum on the street? This random bum she just walked in there with. My God. Look, she wanted to get Alan and fix all his clothing and do all these things, but yet this is who you decided to stay with? When y'all are acting like your children, you're acting like you're passing notes saying, do you like me? Check yes or no. And he can't be bothered to even try to give any kind of resemblance of a care about what he freaking looks like in public. And this is coming from a guy who, I really don't care. But damn, I don't look like I just rolled out of bed every time we're together either. This whole thing is disturbing. Just their whole interaction.
Delicious.
No, I'm just in my head.
I was in my head.
You know, just thinking about dessert. And the dessert I had this morning.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. The dessert I had this morning, it's like they go on this whole long thing about, oh, the dessert I had this morning, I like dessert in the morning. Okay, we get it. Y'all slept together. We understand. I don't know why y'all are acting like you weren't sleeping together before. Come on. Like, stop trying to hide this like y'all didn't have something already going on. This is the first time, and oh, it was great. Now we're going to have ice cream and have all these euphemisms. Dude, you acting like you were 10 years old, giggling like you just, saw a naked nudie magazine for the first time. You're like, hee 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 hee. Like, it's not becoming of you. I mean, you already have this tarnished reputation because you want to say you're this good guy, but you can't be bothered to act like a good guy. But yet, you want to act like you're 10? Like, straighten up, man. Act mature. Act your age.
If you're not like super like up my ass of like where you're at, who you're
Oh,
with,
okay.
like, what time you're gonna be home,
Interesting.
it's like, but that type of like nagging kind of it does push me away because it's like.
Oh, okay. So she's going to go ahead and lay out the groundwork that she likes to go out with her friends 5 days a week, and you don't need to inquire about where I am because that's going to bug me and push me away. Oh, good. I have really high hopes for this relationship when she's setting the groundwork for that one. Go ahead, David. Have a conversation with Alan with how that went. Oh, wait, she was with you.
All right.
And now I'm good. See, Carla's just over it. She's like, oh, yeah, we had a good, I never saw her cry, but all right. She's saying she had a good cry. Fine. She probably had a good sound bath, took her crystals, waved some sage around, and she's good. And Juan's like, why are you not more upset? Like, it's kind of pitiful, Juan, right now. He can't let go. He's like, I just want to be friends. You're taking things slow.
And we are going to take our time.
Okay, you're taking your time, but yet he's here in your house on the second date and you're introducing him to your friends, but yet you're going to take things slow. This is fishy, and this screams that there's intervention from the show. It screams that something is being pushed. I think that this whole thing is being pushed, trying to set up that, hey, some couples did come out of this, even if it wasn't the ones we set up, to try to save the season. That's what it seems like, because this is rolling really fast. But wait, it gets... Don't turn that off. Don't. Subscribe. Because it gets better. Good Lord Almighty. Falling apart. Everything.
If you can say if the tunnel got darker.
Oh, the tunnel got
It
darker.
was the darkest it could get.
In the marriage,
Now
10
the
years.
Light, I see light.
Oh.
Now I'm outside the tunnel.
Okay,
Not
seriously.
only I'm outside the tunnel,
Seriously.
I'm smiling.
Seriously, for the love of God, he's like just another Akechi, trying to say poetry, trying to win her over by saying all the right things, but yet it's kind of funny that he's trying to say all the right things. There might be some issues there, but she doesn't recognize any of it. Like, it's like history repeating itself, only this guy might be worse. Who knows?
We are from the same area. I've known him 20 years.
Okay.
And that means a lot. I mean,
Her cousin knows the guy.
but you still got to be cautious.
Okay. At least he's saying you need to be cautious. I'll give him that.
I mean, you was married for 10 years?
Yes.
And now you back dating? Yeah.
Exactly. So at the very least, her cousin points that out. Now, he put Akechi to the fire. I gave him great credit for that because I thought it was ridiculous the way Akechi was acting. And I think it was fine what he was asking. So now he's saying there might be some issues here. It was my hope that he would hold him to the fire. Unfortunately, I think the show has the final say in whether the cousin holds him to the fire because it didn't exactly end that way.
Hey, baby.
Okay. Hey, baby. Hug, kiss on the cheek. This is like date 3, tops, and you're introducing to family. Does anyone else seeing a problematic pattern here? Yeah.
Understand that we will have downfalls. But
Oh,
the thing
okay.
is
We
no
understand
answer. Love don't have an answer.
Love don't have an answer. Like, come on. If you don't see that this fool is like angling to sell his own book, like Akechi, look, I don't actually know if he has a book, but it wouldn't shock me if he tries to come out with something like that after this. There are reasons. This is not real. Someone, please, just tell the girl, back off. It's not good to rebound. It's not going to end well. Somebody tell her.
I mean, I just wish the best. I mean, you got my blessings, but...
What?
Okay,
after all that, there are red flags everywhere, and the cousin gives his blessing. Now, there were red flags with Akechi, sure, and he did not give his blessing for that. He was like, look, I think he's acting kind of crazy. So just because this guy's more of a smooth operator than Akechi and doesn't like get all caught up in his feelings right away, doesn't mean you don't see those red flags. You immediately say, oh yeah, you're good. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do. It's all good. I give my approval. What did the show pay you? They are really desperate to have some couples end up on this show.
I came here because I wanted someone who wanted to pour into me. And it's good to have that.
Oh, come on. You gonna do the Fry, the Lady and the Tramp thing. You wanted someone that would pour into you. Reminder, this is like 8 days after the final decision. Like it's been like a week. They've had like 2 dates. And yet this is the one. This is the one you know of. This is how it happens. He's not laying it on super thick, coming off as fake, or you just can't see it, right? Oh, it gets more ridiculous.
Hey, babe.
You ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this.
I want to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay, no way. And come on, you first see that, you gotta be thinking prank, right? You gotta be thinking this is a joke. This is not real. What? There's just no way.
Will you marry me?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Like, what do you mean?
Y'all are so full of. Will you marry me? Yes. Y'all don't know each other. He laid it on thick. He's staying on his sister's couch. He's running away from a 10-year marriage, but never explains why. Says that you're the light, but never really explains what went wrong in his marriage. Like, none of that seems odd to you. Come on. Why are you setting yourself up? Why are you doing that? Why is your cousin not looking out for you this time? They set up reservations, according to David, but the whole place is empty. So just for show, to make it look like you're important, I guess.
Thank you so much.
Always drinks, by the way. Always drinks with Madison. Can we just say that she might have an alcohol problem at this point?
That looks perfect. Oh my God.
Oh, you look so good, or you look so damn fine. I just want to eat you up in the foam of the espresso martini or whatever, because we're going to all have a good laugh at your infidelity and you're running around and lying behind your husband and wife's back. Let's all have a good laugh at that now. They don't care. They don't care about other people. They never have.
And I know sometimes it takes the right person to bring out certain qualities, but I feel.
Wow. Did you hear what she said right there? So I know you're a rare breed, and I know it sometimes takes the right person to bring out certain qualities. That is the biggest cope I have ever heard in my life. Basically, you know that he's a liar. You know he is not a good person. Maybe he's being good with you right now, but you know he's got it deep down, but you're going to try to cope by saying, sometimes it takes the right person, making it sound like it's yourself that's bringing out the right qualities. You're going to be the one to turn him. You're going to be the one to make him not lie. Hate to break it to you, but every time someone tries to change a bad boy, it doesn't really work that well. And he's kind of like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man of bad boys, whereas he's still super soft, but he fancies himself a bad boy, but likes to call himself good. It's a paradox of sorts.
I like that.
You like that?
10 days out, and we're already looking at the engagement. He proposed, but he never rings, so we're looking at engagement rings. It's like 10 days out.
We get married.
Okay.
Baby.
Oh, by the way, this is like a 10-carat ring, or not 10-carat. This is like a 4-carat ring, and he is staying on his sister's couch. If you can buy a 4-carat ring, you can't. There's no place you can afford to stay to have your own place at this point. Nothing adds up with this guy. He's a sham. It's not going to end well. I wouldn't be shocked if they're broken up by the reunion. But you know what? Probably not. They'll probably ride this out past the reunion. But you never know. It would not shock me if she goes there and says, yeah, we went our separate ways. Oh, he really doing it. Oh, my God. Oh, damn. Look. Emem, you know I was riding with you for most of the season, but that's an ugly cry. That is an ugly cry.
That's right. Will you be my wife?
Come on.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Sure. I'm sure it'll last and y'all will have a happy relationship for the rest of your lives. Or maybe next week.
And that's why I knew that first marriage wasn't for me.
Uh-huh.
I didn't feel it. EKG was
okay, but yet she was trying to last till the end, right? If you knew it, you didn't feel it, end it. Move on. The same thing I've said about all of them. But now she's kind of trying to change history, trying to act a little retroactively. Like now that she feels this, I never knew that was right. Now I know what love is. I'm like, you know what someone laying it on thick is. And that's what he's doing. This is basically love bombing you, making it seem like you're extremely loved. And I feel bad for her for this because this fool is nothing more than a smooth operator.
David!
Oh, if you think if he did all this, you're absolutely insane. Listen, the show is The show is doing the most. Look at all the balloons. There's a big 30 over there. All these things. The show paid for this. The show had it set up. This was not him. This is the show trying to foster these relationships so they can get through the reunion special with couples still intact. Because after that, it doesn't matter. It pops up in the news. They broke up, and that's the end of it. They got to get past that reunion special with some couples still together, and that's what they're trying. So they're going to pay $3,000 for balloons to have it set up in a hotel room so they can get it on in a hotel room and stay together, hopefully.
It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that. Like, I'm not naive to think that it'll be this kind of honeymoon-like phase forever.
Oh, you're naive. You're naive and you think it's going to be a honeymoon phase forever. That's exactly what you think. You can say it, but that's a lie, and you're just lying to yourself, because the first time y'all get in a fight, you're going to run away and drink with your friends, and that's going to be the beginning of the end. The first time y'all get in a fight, he's going to run off to Tinder, and that's going to be the beginning of the end. Y'all can't handle a real relationship. Y'all can't handle communication. If you did, you would have been able to communicate that it wasn't working out with your spouses, ended early, and then gone and did whatever you were going to do. But you couldn't do that because you're like little kids trying to hide a secret.
I do love you.
I'm sure you love her. I'm sure you do.
Sure.
No, you don't. No, you don't. As he has his alcohol in one hand, I'm like, listen, I'll tell you what. Get rid of alcohol. Live your real life. Just go to work. Live in your mom's basement. Do all the things in typical life that you're going to do, and then tell me if y'all love each other, because you're still living in the honeymoon phase. You say that it's never going to always be. So who's the one kidding themselves here? Someone please tell me why they can't do an episode or a season where you're not going to tell them they can't drink. They're adults. They can drink if they want to, but where they don't encourage everyone to go to bars all the time. Every time they meet up, they go to bars. Like, why? Oh, I don't know, because alcohol creates drama when people get drunk. So there's obviously a reason, but damn, just have one season where you kind of tone it back a little bit. Don't put wine in absolutely every gift you give them, or champagne, or, set up tastings of these shots and tequila and stuff wherever they go. Always alcohol. Lay off and you might have more success.
Reached out to him to see if he wanted to meet, and he respectfully declined.
Why do you keep reaching out to
Alan?
Alan?
Cordial today. Maybe we'll get a chance to address it a little bit.
Okay, he's been nothing but cordial. Why would it not be cordial? And why are you still reaching out trying to have a conversation? Because you're trying to make yourself feel better for that little bit of guilt you feel. You don't feel much, but it's just a little bit, and you're trying to make yourself feel better. It really has nothing to do with Alan. You can keep apologizing, but you don't really mean it. You're just trying to make him say, hey, it's good, Madison. Have a smile on his face. We're good. High five, fist bump. It's all good. That's what you want from him. Unfortunately, he's like, why the hell would I do that?
David and I have the full support from everyone in the group. We're not getting the support that, Brandon and Emem are getting. And
why would you? Why would you get that support? For one, Brandon and Emem, they should not be giving them the full support. They should be saying, you don't think it's going a little quick? And they should at least be inquiring a little bit. But why would you be getting the full support of the group? Y'all both home wrecked 2 marriages. Now, you could argue that they weren't great. At least David's marriage wasn't great. But you both were completely ridiculous in how you handled things. You weren't honest. You lied to everyone. Why would they support what's going on with y'all? I mean, maybe they will eventually because they're just not going to care. But right now, you acting like, I'm so offended because they won't support me. They have no reason to.
Situation, that's it. That'd be lovely.
Just when you need more drama, Akechi shows up. It's like, okay, the only reason he's there is for drama. It was probably obligated to him. You have to show up to a few events. We're going to do this whole thing. She's got her new boyfriend, new fiance that she's known for like 2 hours there. You got to come and show up. All right, this is bizarre. What's up, man? I'm Brandon. Like, why?
I'm Brandon. Nice to meet you, man.
It's like, oh, okay.
How you doing, Brandon?
Like, what was the point of that? Like, he's like, look at that face right there. He's like, yeah, I showed him. I'm like, why did you even do that? Like, you're going to assert your authority of what? The person you've known for 7 days? I mean, Akechi's a douche, sure. But what you just did makes you look like a damn fool. Like, yeah, I showed him. I'm a man here. I'm going to assert my authority. He don't care. Akechi doesn't give a damn. What is happening? Like, I mean, they're acting like, I mean, seriously, they're laying it on so thick, it really screams they're trying to make you believe that they have something. And why is she trying to even talk to, what is the point of this? Trying to talk to Akechi, all these trying to talk to their exes. The producers are just trying to get one last little bit of drama in there.
Because I care. I
What?
really do.
What a weird statement. Okay.
I could give 2.
True.
But care. Coming
What?
from a place of love.
What? Okay, I don't know what she's trying to accomplish here. I've been with her all season. Akechi's a douche. He's only out for the publicity. This is like his third time on the show. But why does she feel the need to say, it's only love? I'm sorry, it's only love. What? She might be having a mini stroke because I'm confused at what's happening. Like, it's really bizarre. And you know what? He's getting the biggest laugh out of it. So when you had the best chance to just walk away, forget about it because it was a horrible experience. You didn't care for him anyway. You tried, but you didn't care for him. Now you're giving him the last laugh because he's like, this is ridiculous.
My real thoughts is, in about 3 weeks, that don't last either. But
all right, listen, a broken clock is right twice a day, and Akechi hits the nail on the head right there. Sorry, but he does, and that's only probably going to last about 3 weeks. I give it like 2, really, for real. They may not be together for the reunion special, but they ain't gonna last. This is just too fake. It's too fake, too late on. He's got too much baggage that they're not addressing. Yeah, this is definitely really has all the good signs of something that's either fake or it's something that's going to fall apart because he's laying it on thick for what he is actually not and trying to make it seem like he's this good person.
More of a relationship than not. And we've never gotten a chance to talk.
What are you talking about? Why would you need to talk? Why? Like, she's saying we never had a chance to talk. We had this more of a relationship. The time to think about that was during your relationship. Instead, now you're trying to get closure, and it's ridiculous. All you're doing is drawing this out, making yourself look like a fool. There you go.
I wanted to be a hoe. It's not in me. But the dry spell's over.
Like, he wanted to be a hoe, but it ain't in him. All right, Alan. So he tried to like date around a little bit, do the one night stand, but he's like, I just got to be with someone. And good for him. You know, good for him for recognizing that. I hope he finds someone because I really think that he could have a great relationship with, some great woman. But, hopefully it ain't someone that's going to be like Madison.
Still, but just me, party of one, not doing anything.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want nothing to do with right now, which, you know what, Michelle needs to focus on herself. She needs to stay away from relationships because she might have been really screwed in the end of her relationship, but at the same time, she was horrible in the beginning, and she's got to deal with that kind of stuff and how her standards are and what she expects and trying to just lighten up a bit because my God. And the other weird thing is you have Emem and Brandon. Is it just me or there are like Tyler Perry vibes? Like it's all like this whirlwind and everything is great. And all of a sudden, like he's really this really horrible person behind the scenes. And then Medea comes in and helps save the day and helps get her away and all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, it's got Tyler Perry vibes because I just think that this is going to fall apart very quickly. At least they ended up together. I'll give it to them. The one couple that stayed together, Thomas and Camille. But you know what? Hopefully they keep it together and make it last. No one else did. It certainly seemed like in this last episode, there was a real push to have some other couples end up together to kind of lighten the mood on Madison and David, like they're really having a good time, so make everyone kind of lighten up on them. Then to have the whole Brandon and Emem thing where all of a sudden he's proposing after 2 dates and now they're going to live happily ever after. This really screams like the show was trying to do damage control. They did Decision Day. They're going to do one more episode trying to clean things up and have some couples that actually last before going into the reunion. So obviously there's some production things there, but the real fireworks are going to fly when it comes to the reunion special because that's when the real stuff comes out. Always fun to watch. So we will check that out next week. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I definitely appreciate all the support. Share with your friends and family. And I will see y'all next time. Y'all are awesome.